Hey guys, back on here with you here. Second deal of tonight. Got a little bit more things to talk about. We're going to do a lot of pulling documents into the screen as I'm starting to learn how to do that. It's taking a little bit, like I said. Got multiple different things. There's some local news. There's some topics that I found on uh, Facebook, etc., that kind of want to run through a little bit. But we'll get started here. We're going to go through the web links and see if it'll allow me to, like I said, pull them into where everybody can see them on the screen so you can see what I'm reading at the same time. But we'll kind of pick and choose which one as best as that. So here in the Dakota News deal here, the one at the top one is second annual Freedom Festival is happening this Saturday. So tomorrow it is happening here. The second annual Freedom Festival will be happening this Saturday in South Dakota Military Heritage Alliance in Sioux Falls, which is down off of Russell Avenue. This year's event will feature a lineup of local and regional music acts. We've got four great bands coming in. The Men in Black Band, they're a local group that's going to come in and kick things off for us at 4 p.m. tomorrow. And Danica Millicles will follow. We've got Rival Five coming, and after them, and then Hype is going to do their famous five concert ministries or ministries. Sorry, I can't even pronounce that word. I'm sorry. All from the 50s through the 80s. And then said Aaron Van Beek, Midwest Honor Flight Board President and CEO. Midwest Honor Flight is a nonprofit organization, as well as it takes or World War II and Korean Vietnam vets out to Washington, D.C., sort of picked way out in Washington, D.C. to see the memorials. But in that time, that was our in D.C. We see the war memorials, the branch memorials, and we spend time at the Arlington Cemetery out there. We'll get this right one of these times on talking here. So yeah, go ahead and check that out if you have time. See what it's all about down there. Do some more research for yourself. It's a good singing event and a good location down there. Okay. Now we're kind of, because we talked to us a little bit about this in the past year. I'm going to see if I can pop this into the video here because this talks about the homeless people and how they're dealing with them, etc. Let's see, like I said, let's see if I can get this pulled up. There we go. So that way, like I said, you can kind of read what I'm seeing on it. According to the 2025 point in time count, Sioux Falls has more than 600 people experiencing homelessness, with 10% of those individuals identifying as unsheltered United States citizens. United States Department of Housing and Urban Development, HUD, considers individuals and families sleeping in a place not designed for ordinarily use as a regular sleeping accommodation as unsheltered homeless. Sioux Falls is a compassionate community that wants to help these individuals in need, including those who panhandle. Sports services, not panhandling. Cash handouts don't help, but you can, while intend passing out cash directly to individuals, you don't know what they're doing with it, basically. Myself personally, yeah, there is a lot of fake people out there trying to get help and stuff, but the options to get support and help, to me, are not focused in the correct path. Do I know which way is the best to do it and stuff? No, I'm sorry, I don't. But there has to be a better way than what it's currently being handled. Because, like I said, the handing out panhandling money, that just does a lot of destructive to traffic, can put people in harm's way, etc. So go down, make a donation to one of the charities downtown. There's multiple of them. There's multiple news articles and stuff on KELOLAND TV and KSFY and all them that show you how you can give back, etc. To the people. So yeah, and I'm sure there's more than just on them too. Just do a little bit of research on it. So, all right, let's go on to our next one here. This is a lot of the comings and goings with different businesses within the Sioux Falls area. So let's see what we can get over on this other screen so you can see it and I can at the same time. Hopefully it's readable. If it's not, somebody please tell me so that I can make some adjustments on it, etc. Looks like they got a new coffee shop going on in town, grab and go convenience for workers in the 9-story office tower at the Steel District. Steel District is right down there off of 8th and Phillips area. Very new business area there. And there are a lot of restaurants and stuff in there, but there's not a lot of quick convenience type food in there. So this will be a new one along with several other ones there. They have multiple different things. The Shrapa place is expanding down there with more apartment buildings, etc. Down there. It's like South Dakota State University will be opening a center in this area too. Not quite sure why that would be in there, but just a minute here. I'm going to pause the deal for a second here. Okay, hold on. Sorry about that, guys. All of a sudden, don't feel good for some reason. It's off the wall. But yeah, there's a lot of different businesses. Jimmy John's will be opening a location in Brandon. J&L Architects is going to expand to a building downtown. Multiple different things. U-Haul has started construction on a large moving and self-storage place in southeast Sioux Falls. Yeah, that's area that could possibly need more on the east side because there's not a lot of options on the east side for moving storage, etc. Level Credit Union plans to acquire a Sioux City Bank branch from Minnesota. I'm not sure what that has to do with Sioux Falls, but that's one that was in there also. And like I said, then what I'm going to go ahead and do here is I am going to see about pulling some of these videos that I have in from Facebook and kind of go over some of those. Just give me a minute where I can. There we go. Now it's into the system here. Let's see if we can get some sound going on with it, though. That's my main point, is trying to get some sound coming across. Some of these might be muted, so we'll figure these out as we go here. There is one there. Look at that volcano eruption. That is just phenomenal to just see. I would love to know what they're looking at it from. It looks like an old helicopter type thing, but I'm not sure what it is. So let's see here if we can get some. There we go.
Question back to you is, which laws in the United States should be enforced and which ones shouldn't? I mean, my job, here's the deal, guys. My job is not to pick and choose which laws we enforce and which ones we don't. We have laws in this country and they matter. If you want the law changed, go to Congress. When's the last time you went to Capitol Hill and told your senator or representative to change it? That's what they need to do. This is the perfect time for Congress to make a decision on how they want people in this country to be able to have an opportunity to come here legally and to fix this. I mean, my only question.
This is one of the first and only times I actually 100% agree with Kristi Noem. She's talking about how people are allowed to come to America, etc. This is a perfect time because we have the flow basically down to a nil. If people want to come going forward for this is the perfect time to put things into place to speed up the process, etc. And to speed up that process, etc., it takes Congress to write a bill to see what we can do with the people that are here that are not committing crimes. And like many of them said, a lot of these people have been here 30, 40 years and have never set one foot on another country's land. So what do you do with them? There's no country for them to go back to because they're Americans. It's not their fault that their parents, came here, gave birth to them, etc. I mean, what do they know? I mean, it'd be like releasing a person from prison in Africa, for example. I mean, they would have no clue what to do. They would just be at a total loss and it'd be a mess and chaos. And that's what it is right now. It's a mess and chaos. But like you said, this is a time to, fix it, not later down the road. Now is the time to fix it. So like I said, like I said, I've shared some clips recently here with Facebook. Gonna go ahead and see if it will let me share some more here. Nope, it won't let me. I gotta go back to the Facebook deal. It's kicking me out of what I want to show. So Just a neat. Oh, that's why that was a different deal. That's why it wouldn't let me share it. So just give me a moment here. I will get caught up with it. This is a good one right here.
Chicago will continue to have a violence problem as long as red states continue to have a gun problem.
Roughly 30% of your adult residents are functionally illiterate. Fewer than 1 in 3 Chicago school children can read at grade level. 80% of your Black children are born to fatherless homes. Your homeless rate tripled in 2024. There were 1,200 store burglaries in June alone, and those are just the ones that were reported. You gonna blame Indiana for that too? If the simple act of possessing a gun led to gun violence, then the entire state of Montana would look like a Quentin Tarantino movie. It doesn't, though. The truth is that you have a liberal policies problem that leads to a poverty, addiction, and crime problem. And until people get that through their brains and take it to the ballot box, we will continue to go around and around this mulberry bush, and people will continue to die.
Chicago will continue to have a violence
That
problem
is another
as long
lady
as
there,
red states
Brittany Hughes.
continue to have a
Search
gun
her up
problem.
on Facebook here. Oop, just a second, I get to pause. Search her up on Facebook. I feel that she has a lot to say, has a lot of good points, valid points. Might not align with what you believe, say, etc. But I think she's a good listen, at least, regarding it. So let's go to my next article here that I've shared recently here. And that's some of the things I'm going to do as I get different articles that I found, stories that I like or whatever. I'm going to go ahead and continue to share them on my Facebook feed. And then as we do these, I will, try to bring them into the screen so that you can see them. So just give me a moment here while I scroll down and find. So there's been a couple of them recently here where I wanted to share with what they're saying. So just give me a minute. There we go.
City of Los Angeles failed, and that they should not try any other level of an experiment like that.
Allow me to read myself in the state
Come on. I didn't realize how loud that one get, but it's just so fake. The governor of California and the mayor of Los Angeles, they have no clue on reality and how bad the state actually is. They think that California is this perfectly run state and is thriving, et cetera, et cetera. Well, if it's thriving so well, why are so many people moving from California to Florida? Why have big businesses pulled out of there and went to other big cities? It makes no sense. There has to be a rhyme and a reason for all of it. And, people on the outside looking in can see that. And I just don't get it on how people don't understand all this drama, basically. It just doesn't make sense at all whatsoever. They act like that people are blind, basically, and we're not blind. America's not blind. We see what's going on. We see the truth. We see the facts, etc. I didn't stop the sharing for there. I had a couple of articles here, but in the midst of switching back and forth there, I did lose a couple of them again. We'll do my best here to get that. Let's see what this article actually pull up. Sorry, guys. Like I said, I had the other one planned out pretty well. Seemed to be going pretty good in a smooth flow, but this last one here, once again, I'm just struggling with it. But we'll get it back on path. I am actually going to go to here. Sorry, Fox is one of my fallback deals because I know how the platform's formed and stuff, so it's a little easier to navigate it, basically. So here's one of the ones that's been in the news quite a bit here. It's Crackle Barrel changing their logo, basically. And I think other companies should learn from this, that 99% of the population does not agree with the wokeism and everything else like that. We just, it's something that they don't tolerate. And that's your base purchasers, your base watchers, etc., not the under 1% people that are in the wokeism stuff. Um, yeah, I just when will they learn? There's been multiple companies that basically have lost half their worth because they think that it's okay with all this wokeism stuff. And people are just starting to fight back and fight back. And hopefully they continue to fight back because it's not right to be able to have to deal with all of this. You don't get to choose your own language. You don't choose what sex you are. All of that. You just don't get to do that. That's not how reality works. And to affirm it that it's okay to act like this and it's okay to feel like that, then that's wrong. I mean, like somebody was saying here in an article, I wish I would have had it and saved it, is that um, they're basically considered tomboys. You like doing boy stuff, but it doesn't mean you want to change your sect of who you are. That's what it's been for years. And I think with all the hype and with all the social media and everything else, it's just bringing bad people out of the woodwork and makes zero sense to me on it. Um, yeah, like I said, I won't deal with it. You don't get to be a false reality and then make me have to believe it. You shouldn't be able to sue the parents to get the kids' rights taken away and stuff like that. I mean, you can't even pierce your ears until you have permission from your parents, until you think that you're 16. Might be different in every state, but you can have a sex change at freaking 12, 13, 10, whatever. And it makes no sense. You can't even go buy a fucking pack of cigarettes, sorry language, and stuff on it. So, like I said, it's just lunacy to even affirm any of this. It just doesn't make sense at all. Why are we allowing it to happen? It just doesn't make sense at all of why we're allowing that. Let's see here. Kind of find a little couple uh, extra topics here. I'm just going to kind of scroll in here till and see what they have for articles and stuff about the global economy. Yeah. Man, I'm sorry, there is just hardly anything in this evening's news. And like I said, with working, taking my care of my grandkids and stuff, last few nights have been kind of a struggle. But I'm trying to be more prepared regarding things. One thing they did do in Brazil tonight, the uh, Chargers took on the Chiefs, and the Chiefs won, or sorry, the Chargers won in the end. They pulled out the victory. I thought the Chiefs were going to come back because they had the opportunity, but yeah, they didn't come back. So I don't know if this was the first time they ever played in Brazil, but yeah, a good outing. It was a decent game, the whole game. I did get a little over half of it I got to watch, so I got to enjoy all of it. So I was trying to see here. So yeah, that was the other deal that I had to watch last night. I wanted to watch some of Cowboys play, and man, it just made me sick on how they ended the second half. It was like they come out fiery in the first half and then just went to nothing in the second half. But obviously, Cowboys is my team, so you'll probably hear a lot about them going forward here and the different things that go on. So I'm trying to find some more articles here. And there just is hardly anything going on this big in the news right at the moment. So a lot of gossip and things like that, but I'm going to try to steer away from things like that. So we keep everything real and fair balanced and stuff on it. We have had some neat weather here lately here. A lot of high winds, not much for rain really coming out, but the temperatures have been, in the high 50s in the evening and then 70s-ish during the day. So typical this time of the year weather. But I was hoping maybe we get some moisture over the next few days here. And instead of possibly in the future here getting some snow on the ground. So don't like that wet snow. It's just not a thing that we like, but we'll take moisture on how we get it, because the last few years here, we just haven't gotten hardly anything for moisture. So we'll take it when we get it. And unfortunately, you just can't complain about it when you do get it in a form you don't care for. I just don't like the ice and the wind. Any other moisture I'm okay with. So flooding, of course, wouldn't be the other one, but let's see here. Let's see on the WNBA deal if they had any articles on the Indiana Fever. Oh, that was today. They played the Chicago Sky. They won 97-77, so a 20-point spread. Let's see here what Cleveland Clark had for the game, if it shows anything. She is 23. I didn't realize she was 23 already. Sure, it doesn't want to show her points or anything for some reason. Let's go back one more page here. Some highlights there. No, it's still not letting me do it. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to cut this off here short again. I'm going to try to be prepared here going forward with this. Like I said, I don't know what's going on with the different apps and stuff that I'm using, but sometimes the screens just vanish. So I'll be back on here probably Saturday evening sometime. Look forward to hearing feedback from you. Please share with this so that I can get more views, etc. Appreciate you guys for listening in. Thanks.